Hey everybody, this is Gail. I am part of the education team here at the North Carolina Aquarium at Fort Fisher. And I'm here in front of our seahorse habitat for another feeding. Now this habitat is made to look like a mangrove area. And mangroves are common trees found in warmer coastal areas. You can see those roots go right into the water, and that offers protection for a lot of animals. In fact, mangroves are often called nurseries because you'll see a lot of baby animals in there. But our seahorses like them as well because they get some protection from those roots. And as you can see, those seahorses might wrap their tail around the roots or the grasses or other areas right in amongst those mangroves. So this habitat is a mixed species habitat, which means that we have both native and non-native animals in here. We have our native seahorses, which are those lined seahorses, and there goes one right now. And then we have a native pipefish in here, and that is our northern pipefish. All of our other species are non-native and are found in different areas of the world. But I do want you guys to look closely at those seahorses. And I have a question for you. Do you think that seahorses are fish? Well, if you answered yes, you are correct. They do look a little strange, but they breathe with gills like other fish. They also have fins, albeit very small ones, which does make them slow swimmers, which once again is why they like to hang out in the protected waters around mangrove roots. But unlike other fish, they do not have scales. Instead, their bodies are covered in bony plates, and that helps protect them from any predators out there. So not a lot of animals like eating seahorses, which is good news for them. But what do seahorses like to eat? Well, we are going to find out. Well, seahorses and their relatives belong to the order Sygnathiformes, which means fused jaw. So imagine how your diet might change if you couldn't open your mouth. Well, for seahorses, it doesn't affect them at all because they just suck in their food like tiny little vacuum cleaners. And what they are eating is brine shrimp, or you guys might know them as sea monkeys if you ever had to grow any in science class. So as the seahorses look for their food, you can see that they move their eyes independently of one another, kind of like a chameleon. So they are actually hunting the brine shrimp. And they have to eat quite a lot because they don't really have stomachs, so they don't store their food. Here at the aquarium, we feed our adult seahorses 2 to 3 times a day, but baby seahorses need to eat more since they are growing so quickly. So we feed our babies 5 to 6 times a day. And speaking of babies, the males do something a little bit different with seahorses. So they're the ones that are actually carrying and incubating the eggs. The females will hand over those eggs to the males, who store them in a pouch. And once they are done incubating and ready to hatch, the males will help them by doing little abdominal crunches to expel those baby seahorses right from their pouch. Now, as long as they are happy and healthy, seahorses can have babies as often as 2 to 3 weeks and up to 400 babies at once. So here at the aquarium, we often have a lot of babies since we breed or propagate these lined seahorses. Once they're adults, they may go on the habitat here, but we also send them to our sister aquariums at Pine Knoll Shores and Roanoke Island, as well as facilities all over the country. So if you visit a place with seahorses in the future, those seahorses might have been born right here at the North Carolina Aquarium at Fort Fisher. Now this practice of breeding them or propagating them helps us to be more sustainable since we're not taking seahorses from the wild. We realize that wild seahorses do face some challenges. They are victims of bycatch through unsustainable fishing practices, or they're caught in fishing nets when they're not the intended target. And when that happens, they are sometimes sold to tourist shops for people to buy as souvenirs. So we can help our seahorses by making sure that we are buying sustainable seafood and that we're also being conscientious consumers when we are traveling or on vacation. Thanks for joining us today and watching our seahorses feed, and we will see you next time.